I'm Tommy Gibbs, and thanks for taking time to watch this video. I want to talk to you today about your used car operation. I've been getting a lot of calls the last couple of weeks from dealers whose used car inventories are all screwed up. You know what I mean? Like they've got a bunch of stuff out there over 60 days old. They're really hung in those cars. The market has started to level off a little bit. And I can't understand that. I mean, how could they have aged inventory? Hey, I want you to lean into this. Look, lean in a little bit with me here. You ready? If you've got aged inventory right now, you might be an idiot. Now, I'm sorry to call you an idiot, but you might be an idiot. We've been through this tremendous season of the supply of law and demand being in our favor, and you've got aged inventory. I've tried, before I say this, I've tried hard in my career when I'm speaking before a group to make sure that I don't use profanity. If you don't know who I am, you really should know who I am, by the way. But I work hard, and I'm a former Marine, so I can really throw some words out there. But I've tried hard in my career from a professional standpoint not to do that. But since I'm doing a video and I'm here in my office, I want to know, how in the hell did you let that happen? You might say, whoa, me? What do you mean, me? Yeah, you. Okay. You might be saying, well, I'm the dealer, the general manager. My used car manager did it. No, it's not the used car manager's fault. If your used car inventory is screwed up and you got a bunch of crap out there right now, over 60 days old, that's on you, Mr. and Ms. General Manager. That's on you, Mr. and Ms. Dealer. It ain't the used car manager's fault. And wait a minute, don't say, but it was the used car manager before this used car manager that got us messed up. Nope. That doesn't wash. It's all on you. I don't know how that could happen to you during the pandemic. Oh, yes, I do. So you got lucky. What happened was you had some cars that you let them hang around a little longer. You paid a lot of money for them. You kept them 75 or 90 days or whatever, and you hit some home runs on them. Yeah. The law of supply and demand was totally in your favor, and you made some $4,000 and $5,000 grosses on them. I understand what happened to you, but you know what? The really good operators, the really well-disciplined dealers, even during the pandemic, they didn't let stuff age on them. Look, if you understand the concept of 30-30, the more used cars you have in your inventory that are under 30 days old, the better off you are. You should have never gotten to this position. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. No matter what situation you're in right now, don't do this. Don't take your used cars to the auction and dump them. That's kind of stupid. You know what I mean? I mean, you'd be so much better off to retail out of them at some number. You know, I can't understand that we can't find a retail buyer for these cars. There's an ass for every seat. You just haven't found the number that ass is willing to fit to. That's the problem. You see, you keep hoping and praying you're going to make some money on them. I want you to think about this for a minute. If you've got a used car on your lot right now, and let's say it's aged out on you, and let's say that you've got it priced at a $500 loser, and let's say you sell that car today, and let's say it's 75 days old. Let's be that specific. 75, you've got it priced at a $500 loser, and lo and behold, somebody shows up and buys that car. Here's my question for you. Had you priced that car at a $500 loser back when it was 45 days old, would you still have that car now? Neither one of us know the answer to that, but the odds are it wouldn't be here if you had. See, used car managers oftentimes say, Tommy, I've got this car priced number one in the market. My rebuttal to that, and we still haven't sold it. I've got it priced number one, but we still haven't sold it. My rebuttal to that, it's still not cheap enough. You just haven't made it cheap enough. There's somebody will buy every car on your lot right now. A retail buyer, it might not be a retail price, but a retail buyer out there that will pay retail for your car. Now, what's the advantage here? Well, the advantage here is they might have a trade. You might make some F&I income. You might make some service gross. Look, you may be in a disastrous situation. You may have a ton of water out there, and you're going to have to do something with it. And you might decide, and this is drastic, to write your used car inventory down. I don't really recommend that, but you might have to if you got a big hot mess out there. Let's work with some small numbers here and see if this makes sense to you. Let's suppose you got $100,000 worth of water in your used car inventory. You take those cars to the auction, you dump them. You have no chance at all of recouping any of that 100 grand. Let's say that you decide to write those cars down, and you write the 100 grand down, you put it over in an account, you eat it at the end of the year. You're going to have to eat it at some point, right? But then if those cars are on the money, they're all priced correctly, or at least your income, your inventory is at the right number, right? You might make $70,000 worth of sort of semi-bogus gross on those cars. Now you might be saying, oh, I don't want to do that because now I'm going to be paying managers and salespeople, if you're still paying on gross, managers and salespeople on bogus gross. You know what? You created the problem. Too bad. But that $70,000, by the way, you would not have gotten had you dumped them at the auction. I mean, again, you might get some F&I, you might have a trade-in, you might get some service work. There's so many benefits to capturing a retail customer. So keep that in mind. Now, if you ever go down that drastic pike and decide to do that, make sure that you give every used car you do this to a new birthday. See, the problem is you've been giving used cars in theory because you're all screwed up, so you haven't, but you've been treating them all the same and giving them all 60 days. That's been your mindset. They don't all deserve 60 days. Some cars deserve 45, some cars 30, maybe some cars 20. Now, here's something I would never do. I would never, ever give an auction purchase car a full 60-day life cycle. Never, ever. See, we have a software tool called Up Your Gross that you can help manage this through. But put that aside. I'm not selling you anything here today. But I would never give an auction purchase car 60, 45, maybe 30, not 60. Look, I don't care how great a buyer you think you are, or how great a buyer your buyer thinks he or she is, or how great a buyer your used car manager thinks he or she is. I don't care how good you guys think you are. You always overpay at the auction. You don't steal anything at the auctions. I mean, really, do you really think you steal something at the auctions? You'd be better off if you create a greater focus on in creating an internal buying center. That's a video for another day, but you'd be so much better off putting your focus there. But that's neither here nor there. So let's regress just a moment. The reality is you should have already been utilizing lifecycle management before you ever got in this hot mess. As used cars came into inventory, you should be giving them all different life cycles. You know, if a car is a bad color, what day is the bad color on? Day one. If it's got high miles, what day? What day are you buried in the car? Day one. So if you had been paying attention to that and identifying those problematic cars and making sure they had a different life cycle than 60, you might not be in the fix you're in right now. But I'm going to go back to, if you were to write it down, that's what you do. You give them all new life cycle. Moving forward, we make sure that we retail those cars before they get to the end of their life cycle. Inside of our software tool, we have a way of alerting you when a car hits 15 days before its life cycle. We're constantly trying to alert you and say, so if you gave an auction purchase car 45 days and it's now 30 days old, you're going to get alerted that it only has 15 days to go, and 14 and 13 and so on. Because that's the time period when you're going to really have to start to reduce your prices. Understand, price still sells cars. I know it hasn't been so much that way during the pandemic because you could sell a car for anything because people were standing in line basically waiting for you to sell them a car. It's not that way anymore. That's an anomaly. It doesn't happen. I mean, it's never happened in the history of the car business from what I know, right? So look, moving forward, let's make sure that we find a retail buyer for these cars. I'm trying to help you with the issue. I know I called you an idiot earlier for putting yourself in this fix, but now we got to fix the mess that you put yourself in. So let's own it and let's make sure that we don't dump those cars at the auction. We find retail buyers for them. Look, my name is Tommy Gibbs. Do me a favor. Make sure that you give me a like on this in the video here, or give me make a statement or something, make a comment, or by all means, subscribe to my YouTube, easy for me to say, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And look, share this with people. There's a lot of people you know in your dealership, in your dealership group, or dealer friends who need to see this. They need to be waking up. Right now when I'm doing this, by the way, it is October the 26th, I believe it is. October the 26th, 2022. You've still got 2 months to work out of this mess. You don't want to go into January and February with all this crap that you got out there still sticking around. Again, I'm Tommy Gibbs. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. Have a great day.